technology, and vocational training in partnership with the Caribbean Development Bank and Mount St. Vincent University is pleased that you have joined us for the graduation ceremony of Special Educational Needs Teachers Cohort 1, having completed a one-year professional development certificate in special needs education. My name is Dale Segis. I usually serve as the education officer responsible for special education in the Department of Education. But today, just for today, or for the next couple of hours that we will be here, I'm pleased and privileged to serve as the moderator of this program. Please rise for the National Anthem of St. Lucia, which will be performed by Malik Ogist, a student of Donata School. Thank you, Malik. Please remain standing. We would like to invite Pastor Theodore Jaria of the Seventh-day Adventist Church to give us the invocation.
Shall we bow our heads? Our Father and our God, this is a unique opportunity to be able to say thanks, to acknowledge you as the giver of every good gift, the minds to learn, to understand. We acknowledge, dear God, your leading throughout the last year of this program. We pause to say thank you for those with the foresight, our stakeholders, the university who have put this program together. We thank you for determined, committed students and professionals who have worked hard to realize this day. We also take time, dear Father, to thank you for the many opportunities that you provide for us to learn, to grow, to develop. And Father, we pray that you would take charge of the proceedings and help that it would provide motivation, it would provide added enthusiasm, so we would take that which was taught and that which we learned out into our various institutions, and this program can continue and grow from strength to strength. We recognize too, Father, that the beneficiaries of our learning and our time together would be our boys and girls. And we pray, therefore, dear Father, that as a result, St. Lucia will be a better place. Our boys and girls would not fall through the cracks, but that they would be able to realize their full potential. So once again, we pray that you take charge of the proceedings and bless the organizers of this program and ultimately what shall transpire in the weeks and the months and the years ahead. To this end, we pray and we thank you for hearing us. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Jaria. You may sit. As we begin this ceremony, please permit me to recognize various officials who are here with us today at this graduation ceremony. Feel free to make them feel welcome with a round of applause. Not yet. With us is the Minister of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, Honorable Sean Edward. Also with us is the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, Dr. Pauline Antoine Prosper. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, Ms. Michelle Charles. The Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, Mr. Kendall Kodra. The Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, Dr. Fiona Philip Meyer. I'm not sure if the Deputy Chief Education Officer is with us. He is watching online, that's fine. The Deputy Chief Education Officer responsible for instruction in the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, Mr. Dawson Ragunanan. We also recognize the Principal of Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, Dr. Keith Nurse. Also, his Vice Principal at Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, Dr. Marie St. Clair Auguste. With us is the Project Manager and representative of Mount St. Vincent University, Mr. Alan Daw. And I also want to recognize the project coordinator for the Education Quality Improvement Project, Ms. Mary Grace Auguste. I also want to recognize the wonderful ladies and gentlemen graduating here today and their loved ones who have come to support them. I should also say, yes, by all means, I should also say that this program is being streamed live. So I take this time to recognize the online audience here in St. Lucia as well as overseas. We have partners in Canada and around the region, especially with respect to the Caribbean Development Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, as you look around this room, you may find some unusually happy and excited people. There is very good reason for that. The event we celebrate here today and the people with whom we are here to celebrate constitute the fulfillment of a long-awaited reality and a realization of the good that emerges when resources, data-driven best practices, and political and professional wills align. For many years now, the truth about the special education subsector has been that many of the people who serve in special education in St. Lucia have had no specialized training in that field. Whereas that was a known reality in some corners in St. Lucia, the Education Quality Improvement Project helped to not only document that fact, but also applied attention and resources to alter that reality. This has resulted in a high-quality, practical, and resource-rich training experience for 75 participants graduating here today. some of whom are on the staff of special schools, and others who are special educational needs teachers in mainstream schools. And so, this is why we are here today, to recognize and celebrate the achievement of those participants who have profited what was essentially a scholarship opportunity and successfully completed a most invaluable training program that positions them to revolutionize the education sector. To officially welcome you and deliver the opening remarks, please help me welcome the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, Ms. Michelle Charles.
Thank you very much, Mr. Segis. Permit me to recognize the Honorable Sean Edward, our Minister of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, Dr. Pauline Antoine Prosper, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, Honorable Gideon Ferdinand, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Information and Broadcasting, Mr. Kendall Kodra, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Dr. Fiona Philip Meyer, Chief Education Officer, Mr. Dawson Ragunanan, who is viewing online, our colleagues from the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, Mr. Alan Dow, representative of Mount St. Vincent University, the staff of the Education Quality Improvement Project, other staff from the Ministry of Education, invited guests, and of most importance, the graduates. Good evening. It is with utmost exhilaration that I welcome you to this evening's celebration. I term it a celebration as this event is a giant step towards realizing the inclusive and equitable education system where no child is left behind that we often reference. This evening, we pay homage to the new special needs teacher, the one who not only possesses a passion for our diverse learners, but also the one who is trained, qualified, and now has the techniques, skills, and professional abilities required to meet their needs. At the Ministry of Education, we often speak of the transformational needs of our education system. For us within the policy and administrative department, we recognize that transforming our sector cannot effectively occur by focusing on one area at a time. The dynamic and fluid state of education does not permit this sequential approach, and so we must have many balls in the air simultaneously. Hence, our attention is equally focused on the integration of ICT in education, on promoting technical and vocational education and training as one of our strategic pillars for economic development, on ensuring that the foundation of our early childhood education is strong, on continuously creating avenues and opportunities for access to higher education, and tonight is testimony that we are also focused on the needs of our special learners. This evening's graduation ceremony celebrates the accomplishment of 75 special education needs teachers. These educators from both our mainstream and special education schools have been trained to address the needs of a student demographic, which for decades seem to have been misunderstood and undersupported. If we are serious about promoting inclusiveness and equity in education, we must invest in the areas which will support these indicators. Graduates, making this training opportunity available to you is an investment in special needs education. And we will only realize a return on our investment when we see our diverse learners, the ones whose lives you will impact, confidently taking their place in society, becoming more self-confident, self-reliant, progressive individuals. As we continue to invest in training, we are confident that the impact of this exercise will redound to significant benefits to our education system. This group of 75 is the first cohort to be trained and in receipt of this professional development certificate in special education. I can say confidently that there is sustainability in this initiative, as more practitioners will be exposed to this training. Through the Education Quality Improvement Project, the South Louis Community College will be a major partner for ensuring the continued offering of this professional certificate. This training exercise targeted not only our SEN practitioners, but also the lecturers at the college who are now trained to facilitate the program. This local capacity building augurs well for the continued enhancement of our special education subsector. Ladies and gentlemen, with this said, welcome, be comfortable, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Let us all join in congratulating the graduating class and in wishing them well, wishing them all the best as they move on now to put into practice what they would have learned. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Charles. If you know me at all, you know I get excited about special education. And I heard Ms. Charles say there's more to come. So I am definitely excited. There's an article written in 2016 in the Journal of Undergraduate Student Research, and this is what the authors said. Playing a musical instrument has been shown to increase cognitive ability through enhanced neuronal communication between the left and right hemispheres of the brain, resulting in positive effects on learning, memory, fine motor skills, verbal and non-verbal reasoning, resulting in an overall more capable brain to apply in a multitude of settings. Did you understand that? Not everybody did. So let me simplify what that is saying. Scientists believe that playing a musical instrument is good for your brain. It is for this reason that we encourage music as an integral part of the program of special schools. Joining us today is the Donata School Band, who will perform a musical rendition. Make them feel welcome.
jam now. You ready for that? Let's go. One. Come on. Come on. Let's go. You ready? You ready? Let's go. One, two, now. Go. Go.
back into my classroom tomorrow morning, what do I do with this? How does this change what I do? How do I put it in practice? Because it's fine for it to be theoretical and to talk to your instructors, but what do we actually do with this to help kids? So, not being a theoretical exercise, I know every day all 76 of you were faced with this every day. How does this help me? So, my observation of while all that serious discussion was going on, these folks have amazingly good humor. Like, you guys are really funny. Like, there were times I'd turn the mic off because I was laughing so hard. I was literally rolling around on the floor, trying to keep pace with what was going on. So your good humor, like your warmth, your sense of what you were doing, that shone through all of the classes. And that means that you were having fun. And not just fun in the classes, I think that fun translates into your classroom as well. You're having fun with the kids, and you're having a good time. Yeah, it's serious what you're doing, but there's a part of it that comes from inside you, from that fun, that joy. So what I saw was this collaborative attitude that came out of that fun and that enjoyment. And at the very bottom of all of this was this sense of kind-heartedness. And I saw that, like through the technology, through the distance, through me up there in the cold, frozen north and you down here in the sunny south. Like through all of that, this warmth came through, this kind-heartedness that you have. I also saw this sort of protective side that you have of your students. And we call it the mama bear syndrome. Like, you know, the mother bear is going to protect the cubs. Like, I saw that. So there's this kind-heartedness, this love, this protection that you have for the students, and what all of that translated into, what I saw was in 2 words: you care. You care about these kids. You're willing to come out on the evenings that we did the classes. You're willing to put it into practice. You're willing to have those difficult discussions because you care about those kids, care enough to improve yourself and to move forward with that. So I think that that's what will propel you forward into the future, that sense of caring. So that's my remark. It was only one. It was focused, wasn't it? Okay. So thank you very much for inviting me here. I've really enjoyed this. Thank you to everyone, to the hard work of the people at the EQIP is Belize, EQIP unit here. Thank you very much for everything. I'm really looking forward to the graduation, to actually see you pinned and to see you with your certificates. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alan. I hope you have a lot of pockets, Alan. I would encourage you to fill these with as much St. Lucian sunshine as you possibly can. I know a few of your friends and colleagues back in Canada could use a little bit of that, even in their summertime. We want to say thank you again to you and the team at the Mount. Please do convey our fondest regards to Dr. Harkin, Dr. Manning, and all of the rest of the MSVU team that has supported this effort. Thank you. I need to say before we move on, and I'm hoping that in the other presentation somebody is going to say a little bit more about it, but I just need to highlight that the financial engine behind this initiative is from the Caribbean Development Bank. Give them a round of applause. Our next presentation is from a student of the SUFRE, Special Education and Rehabilitation Center. I have long admired and appreciated the unique gift of this singer. Maybe I should be singing too, but let's leave that alone. Please help me welcome and encourage Miss Maria Charles.
Yes. Thank you very much, Miss Maria Charles, super student, super special education and rehabilitation center. Yes. Ioness, Hannah. He said, wait. Listen to the song here in my heart. A melody I start but can't complete. Listen to the sound from deep within, suddenly beginning to find release. All the time has come for my dreams to be heard. They will not be but just silent turn into your wall, all 'cause you want. You had known, now time believe in you. You don't know what I'm feeling. I'm all in what you made of me. I found the voice, you came to me. But now I gotta find my own. You should have listened. There is someone here inside, someone never at time, so long ago. Oh, I screamed out in my dreams to hurt. They will not be but just hollow words into your wall. Oh, 'cause you want to listen.
I tried to warn you. You know, you're so right, Maria. If we would listen, we would discover ability, not so much disability. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy that the Honorable Minister is here with us to offer some special remarks. Many moons ago, the Minister and I were classmates. We were training together for the teaching profession. In fact, we sat right next to each other in class. Now, there's a story going around, and I won't tell you about who copied on whom. Do not ask me, I will not tell you. But today I'm pleased to call him my Minister of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, Honorable Sean Edward.
Since you have started the story about who copied on whom, I suspect I may have to finish it. But yes, we were classmates together. We belonged to the cohort 1998, the class of 98. I've been in so many classes. I tried to place Teachers College. Those were the best days, the days at Teachers College. I wish I could have done like Alan Dow and adopt the protocol that has already been established. But the thing about it is that he will be hopping on a plane soon from today and leave for the university in North America. But I will have to confront some of the people who are here with me. And I do not want to be chided for not having acknowledged their presence at today's ceremony. And so I must, out of respect, if anything else, acknowledge the presence of Dr. Pauline Antoine Prosper, who is the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education. We also have with us the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, former teacher, former school principal, Senator the Honorable Gibeon Ferdinand, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Ms. Michelle Charles, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Mr. Kendall Kodra, Chief Education Officer, Dr. Fiona Meyer, staff of the Ministry of Education, Mr. Alan Daw, representative of Mount St. Vincent University, principal and vice principal of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, members of the EQUIP team, and EQUIP is a project funded by the Caribbean Development Bank, of course working collaboratively with the Ministry of Education to try and modernize and make our education system much better than it is. Media practitioners, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and the person on whom we place the spotlight this evening, graduates. This is turning out to be an awe-inspiring evening. From the moment I walked through the back and I saw the decor, I secretly whispered to the parliamentary sec who did the decorations. She wasn't sure herself, but whoever did this deserves a round of applause. I have attended many, many ceremonies in this country and throughout the region, and I can tell you this is up there with the best that I have seen anywhere in St. Lucia and at least the Eastern Caribbean. In an increasingly volatile world, the concept education is one that is dynamic and multifaceted. From a simplistic perspective, education may be broadly defined as purposeful activity that fosters the holistic development of individuals, communities, and global societies for existing and future generations. This emphasis on the holistic development of individuals and global society by extension aligns with the United Nations General Assembly's agenda for the Sustainable Development Goals. It is envisioned that these 17 goals will serve as a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for mankind by the year 2030. One may posture this a tall order, and indeed it is. But is it really an agenda that the government of St. Lucia is resolute enough to challenge and to make good on for the betterment of our citizens? Within the context of education, and pursuant to the established targets and indicators specific to SDG, Sustainable Development Goal 4, quality education, the Ministry of Education is steadfastly committed to the continued transformation of St. Lucia's education sector, such that all learners, regardless of ability or circumstance, are afforded the opportunity to optimize their potential via access to free, equitable, and quality education in the interest of sustainable development. If we pause for a moment to reflect on the overarching mandate regarding SDG 4, quality education, we can appreciate that the concept of quality education, likewise the relevant provisioning for quality education, is indeed highly complex and multidimensional. We can also appreciate that whilst there is indeed continued room for enhancement to our nation's education sector, much has been and will continue to be accomplished by the Ministry of Education and the Government of St. Lucia by extension in this regard. This evening's celebratory event regarding the successful completion of a professional development certificate in special education by this cohort of 75 special education needs teachers from both special education needs schools and mainstream schools attests to the commitment of the Ministry of Education to the development of an education sector that is more inclusive and adequately responsive to the diverse learners within its purview, with particular attention to learners who have been traditionally marginalized. It is noted that one of the core marginalized groups of learners has been our special education needs students. Also noted is the unavoidable truth that whereas many learners walk through the doors of our various institutions of learning, one too many have traversed our nation's education system not having received the relevant interventions or support necessary to maximize their potential or abilities. Whilst there may be numerous delimiting factors which may be beyond the ministry's systemic control, it remains an absolute imperative that we collectively optimize these factors which we can control. One such factor being the continued enhancement of the capacity of our nation's educators to attend to the diverse learning needs and abilities of the students in their purview. Ladies and gentlemen, the unfortunate reality is such that our varied institutions of learning may contain an array of students with special education needs who are undiagnosed, likewise an array of teachers, principals, and parents who are not equipped with the necessary tools and training in special education to best identify and effectively attend to learners with special education needs. As a strategic response, the government of St. Lucia, through the Education Quality Improvement Project, EQUIP, and other ongoing projects within the purview of the Ministry of Education, continues to invest extensively in enhancing provisioning for students and personnel within the special education needs sector. I reiterate that such investments are pursuant to the overall transformation of our nation's education sector, such that it is more competitive regionally and internationally, epitomizing and promoting inclusivity. This is by no means an easy feat, but it is a challenge that the Ministry of Education, and by extension the government of St. Lucia, continues to embrace with zeal, purpose, and commitment. This is manifested via the continued enhancement of physical infrastructure, provision of information and communication technologies to special education needs students and teachers, likewise enhanced teacher quality through scholarships and continuous professional development training in special education. One such investment, again, being the training of the 75 special education needs teachers graduating today. Such training proved necessary as research findings under the EQUIP project indicated that a number of special education needs teachers within our special education needs schools and mainstream schools possess no formal training in special education. As a proactive response to this constraint, the Ministry of Education engaged Mount St. Vincent University to develop and deliver a customized professional development certificate in special education to this premier cohort of special education needs teachers, with eventual handover of this program to the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College for continued delivery to educators across St. Lucia's education sector. In other words, Mount St. Vincent University has given us a start. It is up to us as a country to pass on that mandate of training to the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, which is expertly led these days by Dr. Nurse. Ladies and gentlemen, such significant investment epitomizes the government of St. Lucia's steadfast commitment to ensuring that all learners, irrespective of ability, community, or socio-economic backgrounds, derive equitable access to quality instruction. The opportunity for quality instruction within the SEN, or special education needs sector, and mainstream schools is strengthened where special education needs teachers are equipped with a more concrete understanding of special education. Likewise, the enhanced ability to deliver meaningful support to SEN learners in the instructional process. Where our teachers are better positioned to attend to the needs and abilities of our diverse learners, the ministry's strategic agenda of more inclusive classrooms and school culture should be realized. Where teacher competence is enhanced through sustainable human capital development, the important work of teaching and learning is made more effective. And this is a thought that has been posited by Robert Edgerton and Peter, 2008. Graduates, as the Ministry of Education celebrates with you your successful completion of this training program, it is important to note that this is not the end, but merely the beginning of an important mandate as ambassadors for change and inclusivity within St. Lucia's education sector. I repeat, it is important to note that this is not the end, but merely the beginning of an important mandate as ambassadors for change and inclusivity within St. Lucia's education sector. It is expected that you will maximize the knowledge gained during your stint with Mount St. Vincent University via your offerings of quality instruction and support to the learners and special education needs students who are entrusted in your care. It is expected that you will approach your students with renewed zeal, patience, and understanding as you aid their growth and development, nurturing their morale and empowering them to be the best versions of themselves. As ambassadors for change and inclusivity, it is expected that you will actively share the knowledge and experiences attained within this program with your fellow colleagues at the school level, your teacher friends, with parents and principals, with a view towards fostering a culture of inclusion within your respective institutions and communities. This should assist with reducing or eliminating the unfortunate yet lingering stigma associated with special education. As we pursue the global agenda of no child left behind, it is absolutely vital that such stigma be eliminated, thus providing a more equitable opportunity for every special education needs learner to flourish to their optimal capabilities. Principals and education officers, the role of ambassadors for change and inclusivity is most certainly extended to you. It is expected that you will actively partner with your teachers within this graduating class, drawing on lessons learned to foster a teaching and learning environment that is empowering, supportive, and responsive to the needs of your respective students, that you will work assiduously towards the reduction and elimination of the stigma associated with special education within your respective schools and communities. Parents and families of children with special education needs, likewise community members, the Ministry of Education invites you also to serve as ambassadors for change and inclusivity within our nation's education sector. Eliminating or eradicating the stigma associated with special education, likewise provisioning for learners and individuals with special education needs, is no easy task and is one that the Ministry of Education certainly cannot fulfill on its own. We implore your active partnership, as we strive towards the development of a better society for us all. The Ministry of Education congratulates all graduates once again and encourages you to rise to the occasion as ambassadors for change and inclusivity within our nation's education sector. The ministry also takes the opportunity to thank our co-financiers, the Caribbean Development Bank, commonly known to most of us in here as the CDB. Likewise, I want to place on the record, not just on behalf of the Ministry of Education, but on behalf of the government of St. Lucia, our profound gratitude to Mount St. Vincent University and the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College for your partnership in this strategic intervention. Let us continue to work towards the transformation of St. Lucia's education sector in the interest of our students and, by extension, in the interest of our nation. Today, you are extremely lucky to have been part of this cohort. The last 2 years have been challenging for almost every department of government. And to emerge in the aftermath of COVID, a lot is expected of you, teachers, to get our children back on an even plane. The World Bank and other international agencies are beginning to quantify learning loss. Yes, they are ascribing a dollar value to learning loss. We have a lot of catching up to do. And we have always postulated a position where no child should be left behind. And it is for this reason I have every confidence that the skills, the knowledge, and training that you've received from Mount St. Vincent University, you will put to good use in the various schools, educational districts, and communities, and this can only redound to St. Lucia being a better place for all citizens. Thank you very much, and congratulations once again.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. We need to embrace our new title, Ambassadors for Change and Inclusivity. I like it. We continue to showcase the abilities of students, both current and past students, who either are being impacted or have been beneficiaries of the work of teachers in special education. The next presentation, actually the next two presentations, will be performed by a brother and sister combination. They are persons who have been supported in their education by the Education Services Unit at the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association. Please help me welcome Ms. Nikki Edman and Mr. Isaac Edman.
Good evening, everybody. It's wonderful being here tonight. When I got the invitation, I said I wouldn't miss it because this is a very special occasion. And I want to wish the graduates all the best and God's blessings because what you're doing is very important. There are so many children out there who need this. So I'm very happy to serenade you. Just relax, kick back, and enjoy the song.
Chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some helping heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heads above more than just a passing glance. When you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance.
evening, everybody. I'd like to say a very special evening to the dignitaries and to the beautiful graduates. I wish you the very best, the absolute best. Keep on being ambassadors of inclusivity as the minister established. And I'd like to sing a song myself. I do hope you enjoy it. Three, two, one. You look beautiful, by the way, graduates. Just give them one more round of applause. They look so beautiful tonight. All right. TikTok. I guess I'll have to do it a cappella if there's no music. Is the music on? I guess we're having a technical difficulty or some kind of, but I guess I'll have to, okay. The title of the song I had to do was Stay the Same, so I'm going to sing it nonetheless. So please enjoy. Don't you ever wish you were someone else? You were meant to be the way you are exactly. Don't you ever say you don't like the way you are. When you learn to love yourself, you're better off by far. And I hope you'll always stay the same. 'Cause there's nothing about you I would change. I think that you could be whatever you wanted to be if you just realize all the dreams you have inside. Don't be afraid if you've got something to say. Just open up your heart and let it show you the way. So don't you ever wish you were someone else. You were meant to be the way you are exactly. Don't you ever say you don't like the way you are. When you learn to love yourself, you're better off by far. And I hope you'll always stay the same. Because there's nothing about you I would change. Believe in yourself, reach down inside. The love you find will set you free. Believe in yourself, you'll come alive. Have faith in all you do, and you'll make it through. Whoa, whoa. So don't you ever wish you were someone else. You were meant to be the way you are exactly. Don't you ever say you don't like the way you are. When you learn to love yourself, you're better off by far. And I hope you'll always stay the same. Because there's nothing about you I would change.
And there's nothing about that song I would change. You did not need the music, my brother. I have to make a little confession. I've been dancing at the back there quite a lot for all of the musical pieces. It is always an amazing thing to me. I don't think when these performers were asked to perform that the item that they were going to perform was specified. But if you think back, you will realize there's a kind of a coordinated theme. I will leave it at that. So I want to say thank you to Nikki Edmond. Nikki surprised me a little bit. I know of her as Alley Cat in the Calypso world, but she switched it around on me there a little bit, and thank you to your brother, Isaac. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the time in the program for the presentation of certificates. Assisting us with the certificates tonight will be Mr. Alan Dorr. If you can come up, please, Alan. And to help us with the presentation, we want to invite the Honorable Minister, Sean Edward, if you would join us on stage. We will ask the graduates, when your name is called, if you can come up to my left, you will collect and go off to my right. Don't forget to pose for the photos. That's very important.
That's your first set. Okay.
Atala Melius. Anna Herman. Just to let you know that in addition to receiving their certificates, the graduates will be receiving a special pin, a special Mount St. Vincent pin. And we have asked for Mrs. Herman and Ms. Melius to assist with pinning the others. Abigail Stanislas Horton. Alison Anius. Alfia Augustine. Anaika Pascal Stanislas. Anushka Pierre Pamphile. Colleen Shalmine Marius, Celesta Fawn Benjamin, Selena Lesporis, Sarah Lynn Charles. Chantal Prosper, Cheryl Paris Weeks, Dolores Fabiana Daisy Markey, Irina Charles, Ezra Joseph, Faye Vincent, Mr. Frank Emmanuel, Gahizi Mata, Gail Frank, Genevieve Benoit, Giselle Edward, Halima York, Hester St. Clair, Irvin Smith, Yes. Janine John. Jessica Jacobi. Johnson James. Justine Delia Estwick. Kashana Ernest. Kathleen Edward. Keitha Natalie Eugene. Kimberly Albert. Laurel Shalon Pauline Clark. Laurie Anthony. Lucretia Mahalia Ferdinand Hudson. Lydia Prosper Antoine. Lily Hall. Martha Stephen. Marvin Duff. Maura Filbert. Mr. Minister, thank you very much. To continue assisting us with presentations, we invite the parliamentary representative, parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Pauline Antoine Prosper. Welcome her, please. And we continue with Melissa Dujon. Melissa Joseph. Milana Raymond. Michelle Dibic. Milan Purcell. Monza Regis. Nancy Abraham Moise. Naomi Ruth Augustine. Nefertiri Ferdinand. Patrina Reed. Paula Monrose Okiki. Rodney Maxius. Roan Alexis. Ruth Daniel. Saskia Eugene. Sheldon Samuel. Shoma Gustav. Sherry Leos Kodra. Sherry Ann Wintz. Sienna James London. Tracy Laurentia Charles. Tracy Renault. Trifanelda Dawe. Tutor Frederick. Valencia Kistner. Vonda Williams. Vina Fauché. Velda Donovan, sorry. Vera Danielle Kamsel. Verity Saint Romain. Vanette Longville. Venicia Herman. Jakub Nestor. Zanik Edwards. Zenith Duncan. Madam Prosper, thank you very much for assisting. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for all of the graduates. Congratulations. And special thanks to Ms. Melius and Mrs. Herman for assisting your fellow graduates. Thank you very much, Alan.
Some of them are here. A few of them are. Sure.
We have one more set of certificates to issue. There are some persons who will be serving, who have served and will serve as co-instructors to this course, and we would like to present them with certificates at this time. Odile Monrose Bissett. Elizabeth Bissett. Okay, Dr. Fedora Daniel. Vanessa Menal.
A couple of them have two. That's why they're stuck together.
Okay,
So that
okay,
would
there
be-
she is. Is that one?
Yes.
She's there, she's there. We know that not all of these persons are here, but we do want to call their names out in recognition. Chanel Justin. Yes, please give them a round of applause. Zephrina Lancico. If you're here, please do come up. Julietta McFarlane. Tibetius Ariste. Macrina Joseph. And Ian St. Helen. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are rapidly approaching the end of this ceremony. I know it's sad for some of you. It is very important to say thank you. Henry Frederick Amiel says, thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. And an anonymous writer said that gratitude turns what we have into enough. Here with this evening's vote of thanks is the project coordinator for the Education Quality Improvement Project, Miss Mary Grace Ogis. Give her a warm round of applause. Thank you. And I'm told that we have a representative of the graduating class who will also give a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I would like to adopt the protocol already established for this evening. And it is my pleasure and it is a privilege that I'm standing here before you to deliver the vote of thanks. Before we actually say that we can thank anybody we have to give thanks to the Most High, because it is through the good climate and life that we are here today to see this milestone in education. So I would say it's a distinct pleasure as well as a privilege for me to deliver this vote of thanks on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training at this graduation ceremony for Cohort 1 teachers. This event marks a milestone in professional development training of special education needs teachers in St. Lucia under the Education Quality Improvement Project. We go by the acronym EQUIP. This training establishes a pathway to train as many of our teachers as possible who do not yet possess the knowledge, skills, and understanding to address the deficiencies that Minister Sean Edward mentioned in special education that we encounter in our schools. So the first cohort of trained teachers have fulfilled the requirements of the Professional Development Certificate tailored for St. Lucia's education system by Mount St. Vincent University of Canada. And of course, we have to say congratulations to you, graduates. This training from the MSVU assures an internationally recognized program of study which establishes a foundation for mobility to further training in special education. Our appreciation is extended to our partners who have supported the Ministry of Education in this effort, having bought into the vision of education for all. So we would like to give a second thank you to the project financiers, the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, without whom this training would have remained a dream. Our thanks are extended also to the Mount St. Vincent University and faculty, and I must say, and the project director, Andy Manning, who put their unwavering effort and commitment into this training over one complete academic year, while ensuring the success of this training with no attrition of trainees. Actually, we ended up with one more, so we got 76, and I can't identify that 76th person. We wish to commend the sterling effort of Dr. Andrew Manning for his unwavering support as project lead to bring St. Lucia's request for this program to the attention of Mount St. Vincent University. We wish also to commend Mr. Alan Dorr of MSVU for his support as project manager for this program. I haven't gotten used to saying the Mount, so I'm saying MSVU. Another partner that the ministry would like to thank is the faculty of the South Louis Community College, who made this online program possible, and for the IT support personnel of the South Louis Community College, who lent their support in the use of the Moodle platform by all trainees. So for today's program, we'd like to say on the behalf of the Ministry of Education, to thank Pastor Theodore Jaria, the Superintendent Minister of the SDA Church, for the invocation of our opening prayer. And I think I read through his delivery that he was offering a blessing, or he was invoking a blessing on the student beneficiaries of all the graduating teachers of this cohort. For our graduates, or we should be saying, since you just received your certificates, we will address you as graduates. We say thank you to all of you, because you gave up your time, you made sacrifices. I know I've been checking. And some people said, well, after those nights that they had to study and do this program, they are getting back to the gym and going back to what they used to do before. So I know that you made sacrifices. And we say thank you for doing that, because a lot of beneficiaries are actually going to get some benefit out of what you have done. We'd like to say thank you to our students who were around. We say thank you to our special students who have been assisting us in one way or another throughout this ceremony. Some students have been performing in the music band, and we recognize Donata with their lead, Mr. Polios, the singing, the ushering. Some of them are ushers, yes, you may have noticed, ushering or serving refreshment this evening. We say thank you to all principals of our special schools for assisting us in executing this graduation ceremony with the help of your students. The national anthem was delivered by the Nonato School, and we say that was very beautifully done. We extend thanks to the music band for their wonderful delivery, their wonderful renditions. We also extend thanks to Miss Maria Charles, she was sitting just right next to me, of the Soufriere Special Education and Rehabilitation Center, for presenting us with a beautiful song. I had to ask her the name, and she says it's called Bow Down. You know, most powerfully delivered. Thank you, Nikki Edmonds and Isaac, the brother and sister combo, past students of the Vision Education Services of the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association, for your wonderful performances this evening. Our special students have displayed that they are able to thrive with focus, dedication, and with an infusion of our support. The Ministry of Education, we extend special thanks to our Honorable Minister for Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, the Honorable Mr. Sean A. Edward, for his sterling delivery and those sterling remarks to this gathering and to the graduating class. I think it really sets the tone for our takeoff from this milestone that we've achieved. And we also would like to say that we thank the Honorable Minister and the Parliamentary Secretary, Dr. Pauline Antoine Prosper, for assisting us, and also Mr. Alan Dorr for assisting us with the distribution of the certificates. I don't know how you all kept tabs on 70, 75 and plus, but I know it's quite a bit of a job. Our thanks are also extended to our permanent secretary, Ms. Michelle Charles, for the warm welcome and opening remarks for this first graduation of teachers trained in special education under this MSVU program. Now we have to mention that our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Dale Senchis, is, well, he says he's a moderator, but he's a master wearing many hats. And I must state here, because I don't think anybody would probably know that, even to tweak the courses so that they satisfied the needs of St. Lucia, he was pivotal in that. So if no one will sing his praises, I will. And it was, it was a very productive session when we negotiated with Mount St. Vincent University to sort of customize or tailor this course. So anything identified with special education, Mr. Segis is there, and we thank him for his unwavering support. Now there are some people who are in the background, and we don't say very much, but they are the ones who equip the energy to move forward. And we want to take this opportunity to extend thanks to our Chief Education Officer, Dr. Fiona Philip-Meyer, and the Deputy Chief Education Officer for Curriculum, Mr. Dawson Ragunanan. See, these people that you don't know are behind us, pushing us for in-service teacher professional development. So they're the ones, trying to see how they can push this in-service program. Now, you may have realized that 2019 we were able to do in-service training, but because of COVID-19, we just got stuck. So this here means that we can start up again, hopefully. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, let me take this opportunity to express heartfelt thank you to all our graduates, again, for your steadfastness and willingness to make the necessary personal sacrifices to receive this training, to serve the needs of some of our most vulnerable students in our country. And you are the first cohort of teachers trained in this professional development course, this PDC, as a first step in spearheading mass training of our teachers in this education subsector. In this way, we are establishing a foundation for ensuring that special education is understood and appreciated by all teachers in public schools. And I can only speak for public schools, but we hopefully will get that across to the private schools as well, to enable the empowerment of our students in performing at their fullest potential possible. So we are hoping that teachers in private schools in St. Lucia We'll also pursue such training in special education to respond to the needs of all primary and secondary school students under their purview. I'm not leaving out the well-wishers and the family members. So to all well-wishers and family members of graduates, on behalf of the Ministry of Education, let me take this opportunity to express our thanks for your support provided for our teachers in training. I know it's a very difficult thing. Some of your family members wanted to be here, and we could only cater for a certain number. So they were supporting you in your pursuit of your professional development, and particularly through the hardship encountered because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I don't think we had any attrition, and as I was saying, there was one more person, and we just can't identify that 76th person. Eventually we will, though. And last but not least, I'd like to say thank you to our staff of EQUIP, because a lot of us don't see the people behind the hard work. So I'm going to take this opportunity to extend thanks to the EQUIP staff at the Project Coordinating Unit for your unwavering support to this project and to this whole PDC initiative. Actually, they went to get the people who did this beautiful thing. So they were engaged, constantly engaged. And I would like to take this opportunity. I don't like to do this, but we have to because it deserves it. The occasion deserves it. Special thanks go out to Miss Edith Emmanuel and Miss Michelle Joseph for your hard work, which has not gone unnoticed. And I thank you, everyone. And just imagine that this is a milestone in the development of the special education subsector. So you all give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much. Mr. Sagis, I don't know if he has any more. Yes, I think there's somebody who's supposed to do a vote of thanks for, on behalf of the graduates to Mount St. Vincent University. Oh, there you are. Thank you.
Distinguished guests whose presence I would like to recognize, representatives from the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, representatives from the Education Quality Improvement Project, professors of the Mount St. Vincent University, faculty of the South Louis Community College, graduates, including those virtually, and other specially invited guests. I bid you a pleasant good evening. Let me first start by giving thanks to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. I would like to thank everyone who have worked hard and diligently to put this graduation together. My name is Lily Hall, and I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. It is a well-known fact that the evidence of hard work is a result of that work. A big congratulations to my fellow graduates for this momentous achievement. Your hard work, our hard work, is evident today. It is often said that gratitude is the attitude that takes you to your altitude. Allow me to begin by thanking the Mount St. Vincent University for collaborating with the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, and the Education Quality Improvement Project, thus providing us graduates the scholarship to further our education. We would also like to thank our guest of honor, Mr. Alan Dow, for gracing us with his presence today face-to-face. You helped us with any and every problem, whether technological or otherwise. It was truly an honor working with and learning from you. Thank you, Alan. Throughout this year of learning, we were backed by a team of educated, motivated, and dedicated professors who went out of their way in ensuring we understood everything taught. With their wealth of knowledge and experience, they have given us deep-rooted foundations in the field of special and inclusive education. It is because of all 12 of you professors that I can assure you that all 75 graduates have gained an increased knowledge in inclusive education. We will be using our hearts, heads, and hands to analyze our philosophies, write down new policies, which we would then be able to put into practice to ensure that we go the extra mile so that everyone is included, disability or not. because we are all differently abled. On behalf of my fellow graduates and myself, we would like to express our gratitude to Margaret, Mary Jane, Zana, Muriel, Lynn, Faye, Otis, Wanda, Lindsay, and Howard. Tremendous thanks goes out to each one of you. So, as we leave here, we leave with inclusion as our practice. I for innovative, N for needs, C for collaboration, L for lively learning, U for universal design for learning, S for supportive, I for interactive, O for optimistic, and N for nurturing. Inclusion is a must. This will be our first. Once again, I thank you.
As Ms. Hall has said, we're extremely, extremely grateful, and we would like Mr. Dorr to join us up here. We call him constantly, and he's here again. We're calling on him one last time, but this time, Alan, we wish we could have given you the sunshine to go back with, but we have some small tokens which we would appreciate if you would take to the faculty and staff on our behalf.
I'm keeping them all to myself. Thank you.
So we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and please convey
I will.
on our behalf.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Going the other way? Is that for me too? I'm getting all of this? Okay. I'm getting all of this too? Okay.
Oh, she wants to come forward.
Come forward.
I think Alan is going to need a truck.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sure. Thank you, graduates, and congratulations again.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say as we close, thank you for being part of this experience. I'm sorry, I am apologizing on behalf to those who are viewing online. This does not apply to you. As you leave, there will be refreshments near the exit. Those online will enjoy virtual refreshments. But as we go, I want to remind us all, nobody is a whole chain. Each one is a link. But take away one link and the chain is broken. Nobody is a whole team. Each one is a player. But take away one player and the game is forfeited. Nobody is a whole orchestra. Each one is a musician. But take away one musician and the symphony is incomplete. Nobody is a whole play. Each one is an actor. But take away one actor and the performance suffers. Best wishes to all, and to all, good night.